Here I am today talking about all sorts of interesting things. I do digital architecture, some keynote talks, web marketing, which is why we're here today, online reputation management, assist with consulting with advanced development for websites and apps, and then also deal with cybersecurity, hacked website recovery, training, research, and my latest project is green solutions, sustainable solutions. Very important stuff, and I've got some wonderful clients, and I'm very, very lucky. So we'll move on now, and we shall start to talk about the reason I'm standing here today, which is marketing. That's very important. So once Wesley has helped you with the website, I will help you with some tips on what to do with it, because there's no point in building something and no one comes to see it. And there's three types of web marketing we can focus on, or three families. The first one is where you pay for position on the internet, and that's called PPC, pay per click, and we'll be talking about AdWords today. Then search engine optimization is what we all get spammed about. These people all over the world saying we want to help you get positions on Google, and that's where you manipulate the back end of your website so that it features better on search engines, where you can get natural positions. A lot of nerdy stuff in search engine optimization. And then the final one is your social media, for those of you who like to work with brand awareness. Very, very, very important. I always say when you need to pick which family of marketing you need to work within, it depends on the type of business, but if your results, if you've got lots of money and you want immediate results, you're going to be focusing on PPC and AdWords. If you don't have too much money and you're prepared to wait a little bit of time, you're going to focus on SEO, and if you're about brand awareness, you'll be focusing on social media. But most businesses are going to need a variety of these families. Let's see what's on the next slide. So we're going to start with the pay per click. So this is if you've got lots of money, and I do mean it can cost a lot of money, PPC, and you want to get results. And this is where you're going to write adverts and get them trigger on the internet for specific search phrases. This is a dashboard from PPC AdWords, and it is the reason Google AdWords, Google is the richest, one of the richest organizations in the world, of course owned by Alphabet, which is their parent company. Lots of information, you can ignore most of it. It's like the dashboard on Wesley's CMS website. I'm just going to point out a few interesting nuggets. The first one that might catch your eye is the blue block, which if you can read these pixels, says 45,000 clicks. Now remember, this is a pay-per-click campaign. So this campaign has generated 45,000 visitors. Next to it is a red block where it says 1.2 million impressions. An impression is whenever your advert is displayed. So if somebody types Durban attorney, child custody, and that is a positive search phrase for your advert, that is going to show up on Google if you haven't run out of money and your budget's still there, and that counts as an impression. So it's not how many times your website's been clicked on, it's how many times your advert has been displayed. Next to it is the average cost per click. So I'm paying roughly 23 Rand per click here. Now that may sound like a lot of money, but I've worked in sectors where people are paying as much as 100 Rand per click. Accommodation, the debt industry, all very, very expensive bids. And then next to that is how much I spent on this specific campaign, which is 1.6 million. Now this is an actual campaign that I've been running, and it's for a legal network. So that's the dashboard, and we've got a menu to the left. We've got two menus to the left, and if anybody has any questions about those menus, we can talk about it at a later stage. This is a screenshot from one of the subcategories to the PPC campaign, and just some nuggets of information here which you may be interested in. We've got the campaign name, which I named Durban Child Custody. The status, it's paused because we're not running the campaign today. The goal is where you allow Google to decide how to spend your money. So I always manually decide how I should be spending my money. Google also would like you to spend more money all the time and suggest you increase your bids. You can ignore that entirely. Locations, this is specifically running in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, it's very interesting because you can pick positive geolocations, and you can also pick locations which are negative locations. So you could run this campaign throughout South Africa, and you are an attorney in Durban, but perhaps you've had some bad experience with people in Cape Town, so you actually just want to block them. You can block them. You can put a negative geolocation. Languages is English. My budget is 40 Rand per day. And I've got manual clicking, manual bidding. Again, Google can automatically do your bidding, but I think you're giving too much power to them there. You can pick your start and end date, which is very helpful, especially, we've had clients who have unfortunately passed on and the campaign has been running. So yes, you want to tell Google when they may not be spending your money. Then there's advertisements, conversions, URLs, and all other nerdy bits and bobs, which we won't get into today. I'm so sorry, the visual is very poor. The top bar is a screenshot of the positive search phrase, which is Durban, I can't even tell, I think it says Durban custody lawyer. Now, the positive search phrase per advert is very important. Many people will try to write multiple search phrases for single adverts. I do the entire opposite. So what I do is I will have one or a variety of that positive search phrase. So if this is child custody lawyer, I may write child custody lawyers with a slight variation, but I will keep it to the primary theme of that search phrase. And what I will do is I will add many, many more negative search phrases. So like with the negative geolocations, you can choose a negative search phrase to stop your advert from featuring. So I know that for this specific one, we have a lot of people searching for pro bono child custody lawyer. And I don't want to be doing free work if I'm a lawyer. I know there are attorneys that do some pro bono work, but I would be paid to find paid clients. So I may decide to put in pro bono as a negative search phrase, and anybody who uses the word pro bono will therefore not be seeing my adverts and running up my bill. The next screenshot here is a change to PPC, which is really interesting for me anyway. And Google is starting to allow you to target demographics, age, gender, even your household income. How it works that out, I actually don't even know. But it's interesting, and I'm going to keep my eye on that. Let's move on to the next one. All right, on to the real nerdy side of marketing. This is the second family, search engine optimization. I have got a envelope which was on this table. Somebody moved it. I feel like Oprah giving away. So I've developed an independent search engine optimization certificate. It's the only one I know of in South Africa. I know there are a lot of people who do search engine optimization, but I am one of the few that have maintained first positions on Google for a very long period of time for search phrases. And the way you get your top position on Google, there's lots of tricks of the trade, and the nerds will argue about that, but I've developed a certificate now which has got the primary tricks of the trade, and then a strategy which I feel has worked for myself and my clients and my businesses. And we work through the certificate. So I've got a printout here, and I'll leave that with you so you can actually read it, because this is impossible at the moment. But to give you a quick idea on how the certificate is laid out, the first page really just explains the steps in search engine optimization. One of the biggest mistakes with clients is they think it's a once-off purchase, but it is very much like putting petrol in your car. The more petrol you put in, the further you can get. Session 1 or phase 1 of search engine optimization has to include research, and that is for your own business and for your primary competitor. And this is the step that every general search engine optimization company skips. And what we do is we will identify your primary search phrase. We'll stick that into Google, and we'll find your primary web competitor. It may not be the same competitor you think it is, and we will then do a status check of your website versus their website. And that's very important because it's going to identify your shortfalls and what we need to focus on. So instead of doing all the tools, we're going to pick the ones that are going to give you the best results first. Let's see what's on my other screenshot. Phase 2 is where we will do the... No, my mouse has stopped working. Maybe Matthew, you can go to my screenshot, please. Oh, okay, my mouse is working again. Right, phase 2 is where we set up all these steps which you can do only once with search engine optimization. So it's the foundation work. And then phase 2 is where phase 3 is where we're going to focus on the tasks which need to be done frequently. On the certificate, there's a few interesting nuggets. Let me quickly mention some of them. The first one I want to talk about is your search phrase. Most people understand a search phrase is a statement which you type into Google and then it would generate results. For example, let's see what was put on this actual client certificate. A good example. It looks like they're dealing with a herb company. Alright, so let's think, let's pretend my company sells computers, but specifically HP computers. So somebody may type into Google, sale of an HP computer. So that's a statement. The brand new thing that's happening with search engines now is a voice search. No one is doing this, and you absolutely need to start tackling voice searches. And what we've got now is something called a long tail search phrase. 99% of the websites out there don't have that, and it's a problem because most of your search in the future is going to be done via voice activation. So you may have done search engine optimization or had good search positions the last few years. Fortunately, that is going to change. You need to add some positive long tail search phrases. And the essential difference between a search phrase and a long tail search phrase is the long tail search phrase is a question as opposed to a statement. So you may say instead of sales HP PC, you would say, where can I find the best HP PC for sale? So it's a very long search phrase that's conversational, and that will work well on these Google Home devices, and even when you use your cell phone to search for devices. Some examples quickly on how we will compare a website against a competitor. We'll do a page count. So the more pages you have, the better your chances are, the more content you have, your percentage of media, perhaps even where your website is hosted. So if you are running an e-com and you're only selling in South Africa, you should have a local server. These sorts of things get picked up by the search engines. How frequently your website is updated, broken links, incoming links. There's so many bits and bobs on the certificate which you can have a look at, and will give you a very good idea on the tricks of the trade we implement using our computer nerds. Alright, the final family is the talkative family, the social side of web marketing, and I always focus on Facebook and Instagram. They are the most used platforms in Africa. There's now TikTok, which is doing its rounds in the States, and there are other platforms, but they essentially are following the examples of Facebook, and LinkedIn is also doing quite well now, and depending on your sector, you may also want to focus on LinkedIn. So this is a screenshot of a post which I've done on my business page, and it works just like any post, and at the bottom of your featured post, you've got a boost button. It says boost again because I had already boosted this, and you can see it got 2,000 views and 141 engagements. And it's a video about a little green, sustainable reserve, which I'm looking at taking over Cape Point. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. So you do your post, you click a boost, and then you get some options, and you get to decide if you are going to tackle people by their location, by their gender, and you can even target them based on some of their behavioral patterns. So Facebook knows if you're a parent. Well, it sort of does. It assumes you're a parent. You can exhibit behaviours of a parent. Of course, it's absolutely going to know if you've got the connection with your family members and it says you are a mom. But there's lots and lots of different ways to target set demographics, and that I use a lot. And then you can choose how many days you'd like it to run for, and obviously how much money you would like to give Facebook. You always want to be looking at running a campaign for 4 days or longer, and I find that your return starts to dwindle if you go over 10 days. So those are the 3 types of web marketing at the moment, and depending on your business, you're going to need a variety of those.